Okay, this video is just on my spindle shaft for my Kempsmith Mill. It's the number 4. It was originally horizontal. It's been changed to a vertical. It's a fixed gearbox. The shaft is actually mild steel. The spindle shaft, and again, this machine I got in disarray, and I put it back together, and I've been running for several years into my use. It's a nice big table. I can bore cases or mill little things here and there. Basically has one big bearing that fits here. It has a seal that fits here, and then there's another bearing and a seal up top here. There is a pinhole here, but it doesn't go all the way through. It doesn't lock into anything. It's just something that was in the shaft. Key slot is for the it's a triple stack pulley to adjust the belt speed, and you can see it is kind of boogered up. It is heated up. What had happened was, I don't know if you can see in that or not. What had happened is, basically, I left an arbor in there for roughly about 2 years because it was the one that I used all the time. I could change my end mills and drill bits. Didn't have any boring heads, and it got stuck. Wouldn't come out. I made the mistake to try to take it to a professional machine shop, Turner's Machine Shop in Fort Pierce, and that was a awful mistake. Not only did they drill out my arbor and ruin it instead of just pressing it out, they left the tang in the top of it, and then they broke off 2 drill bits inside of this section, which I can't get out now. So now there's a little piece of a tanged bit in here. That particular arbor end was a tanged in, and that is stuck in there. And then you got 2 pieces of drill bit. One of them I was able to drill through up to a 5/16 with a hand drill and a 12-inch bit, but I can't get the other one out. I can't get them pressed out. I tried to let Turner press them with a hydraulic press, and they simply couldn't hold it in place or whatever. It shot across their shop floor, I don't know, maybe 100 yards, bouncing off the concrete twice. As you can see, some of the dings and the dents around the edge from the bouncing. You can see right here where they hit on it a couple times. All that I can polish out, as long as these bearing surfaces don't get messed up. As long as this bearing surface and this bearing surface stay okay, I should be good to go. This seal, it always dripped a little bit. It probably could use a new seal more than the shaft itself, but this is just a mild steel. It's not even a tool steel. But again, with my little Atlas lathe, I can't put a piece of stock through my spindle, and I just can't get a straight enough bore through centers trying to bore it, holding it with a live center. So I'm looking for suggestions on how to get these out. If I can get the piece of tang and the 2 little pieces of drill bit tips out of there, that are, they're in this hole probably about here to here, and there's probably a space in between them. Or it feels like that when I drill through the one. The second one I can't drill through. And I can't go to a whole 1/2-inch bit. I just simply can't hold on to it. I'll twist my wrist off. I need a machine to do it. I've tried heating it. I've tried, people have suggested Freon into the cylinder, into the inside to try to freeze the bits and shatter them. I've tried freezing it overnight and then heating the shaft and trying to take a rod and punch them out from punch the drill bits out, you know, heat the outside and cool the inside basically, so it expands, just like you put in a sleeve in an engine block or something. None of that has worked. I'm I'm looking for suggestions. If anybody has suggestions, and Keith, if you have some kind of, I know you work with vintage machinery. I'm hoping by sending this to you that you might be able to, because most people won't have suggestions for old machines. You know, this machine was converted before I was born. You know, it is an old machine. I have changed the motor since then, and my wiring's a little screwy. The only way I could figure to wire the switch was I got a power button up top, and then I've got the dual direction down here. For some reason when I wired the dual direction, I couldn't get the center off switch wired right. So this is what I have. It's worked probably 5 years like that. But without my spindle, I'm useless, and you don't realize how much you actually use something until you don't have it. All my little projects, I always need to make a little piece here and there. You know, it's expensive to go to a regular machine shop, and this is what I have, and so I try to use what I have. And occasionally I get a project where I need new tooling. You can see my great assortment of all my tooling for my mill here. And I do have I bought a boring head to do cases, and this attachment. I usually buy something as I need it, because it's extra money that, you know, be honest, I just don't have to spend usually, so I have to justify it to myself that I need it for something before I buy it. And that covers most of everything that I usually do. But if I had other tools, I'd probably do other things, but this is what I have. But none of it's any good if I can't get the spindle back into working order. Basically, if I can get those pieces out of there, and I'm willing to try just about anything at this point. I mean, if you've got some weird idea that's I'm willing to try anything at this point. You know, I can clean the outside of the shaft up. I just need some way to get this stuff out of the middle, so I'm looking for a suggestion. Thank you.